Hello traders, today I'm going to show you how you can trade tax-free. So recently I moved my public account from CFDs over to spread betting on IG markets. Now, just before we start, I have no affiliation with IG. It's just the platform I use. So I will be talking about this one specifically, but there are other platforms such as CMC. They also provide spread betting, so you can do your own research on which platforms and things. Now, the reason I moved to spread betting was because last year while I was on CFD, I went way over my tax bracket. So what the UK tax is basically on capital gains, the maximum you can make before you get taxed is, at the moment of making this video, is £3,000. Now, again, just go and consult a professional. I'm not in any position to give tax advice. I'm not professional. I can't do that. But this is just my current situation. But then I got questions. If spread betting is tax-free, why doesn't everyone in the UK just spread bet? Now, there's obviously upsides and downsides. It's not a case of, oh, spread betting is the perfect platform. There's all upsides. It's tax-free, da, da, da. There are downsides compared to CFDs, and obviously CFD has downsides to spread betting. So we're going to go into that. I'm going to elaborate, and I'm going to help you try and decide what the best move for you is. So here we have a very beautiful, very perfectly written table for you to get an idea of what we're looking at. So we're going to go through comparisons. So first of all, we have tax-free profits. Now, I'm going to elaborate again on tax-free profits because it's not as straightforward as that, but on the surface, it is. So for now, we'll put a tick into spread betting, and we will put a cross into CFDs because CFD is classed as capital gains, so you will get taxed on your profits. Whereas again, spread betting is classed as betting or gambling, so you don't get taxed on your gains or your winnings. Leverage, you do have leverage in both. Now, again, I'm going to elaborate more into leverage. If you get through this video or get through this section, I'll assume that you're more interested in spread betting, so I'll go into a bit more detail. But just for the surface for now, again, we'll put a tick in spread betting and a tick into CFD. Spreads. Now, again, spreads, I will elaborate. So what we have is obviously spreads and commissions are kind of the same thing. So I'm going to put a tick in both because we do have those things. So in spread betting, we have higher spreads than typical CFD brokers. So, for example, I'm going to use Eurodollar because Eurodollar is basically the main asset I trade. So in Eurodollar, the spread is averaged or minimum around 0.6 pips. Whereas if you compare that to CFD is normally anywhere between sort of 0.1, maybe 0.5, depending on the broker and the current market time, obviously news and all that type of thing. But typically you will get much higher spreads on spread betting, and that's because you don't get the same commission. So the amount you're paying to trade on IG is priced in that spread. Whereas on CFD, obviously you can choose a razor account or very small spread. So you might even get complete, like almost no spread, but you will be paying commission, or you might pay, in spreads and a little bit of commission, or just in spreads. Obviously CFD brokers, and again, it depends on your account, but that's how it works for CFD. Whereas spread betting on IG is very linear. What you pay is in the spreads, and that's basically it. Now, overnight fees, we do have overnight fees for both. Now, they work basically the same, so I'm not going to go into that. We all know what swaps are. If you don't know what swaps are, I've got a video going into swaps in quite a lot of detail on this channel. Basically, you will get paid obviously based on the interest rates of both currencies you're trading. Obviously, it depends on commodities and stocks and things. I don't trade stocks, but you will be paid or paying overnight fees on both. Now, this is a big thing, the tax offset. Now, this is one of the reasons that spread betting might not be for you. If you've got assets in other things, so let's say you've got a stocks account somewhere, you trade stocks or something else. Now, if your stock account isn't doing very well, but your your CFD account's doing very well, you might want to be able to offset those capital losses and capital gains at the end of the year when you have to pay taxes. Whereas spread betting, you can't do that. So if one of your accounts is down and spread betting's up, or one of the accounts up and spread betting's down, then you still have to pay taxes. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is you can't offset anything with spread betting because there is no tax. Whether you lose or win, you can't offset it. You can't pay capital gains tax. So unfortunately, that is a cross here, which again, depending on what you do in life and how you've got your finances allocated, tax offsets can be extremely beneficial. For me, it's not so important. I'm happy with just the way that I'm happy not being able to offset losses here. So again, that's one of those caveats that it depends on your situation. Now let's move on to when spread betting isn't tax-free, because again, this is very important. If you are going to move to spread betting and you're a higher capital trader, this might be quite a serious thing for you to know about. So if you're trading full time and spread betting is your sole income, then yes, you might be open to capital gains tax or income tax, not necessarily capital gains tax. There is another one here. A lot of CFD traders, or a lot of traders in general, tend to put their trading accounts under LLCs or companies, and they will trade via that as a sort of a bridge. Now, if you're doing that with spread betting, you might be then open to sort of corporate tax, because obviously you're not getting capital gains tax, but your company is making money from spread betting. So that's how you will be then getting taxed. Now, the other thing is obviously if you're not necessarily a UK citizen, so let's say you're from America, you come to the UK, you want to open a spread betting, fine, you can do that. But obviously America, you still have to declare worldwide income and you will have to declare spread betting on that. So this is specifically really a UK thing. I actually don't know anywhere else that offers spread betting as specifically tax-free or even spread betting itself. So let's just jump into spread betting, or specifically IG markets, a little bit more. So again, if you are watching this far in, I'm guessing you're interested in learning a bit more about spread betting. So this is the user interface. This is where you can view your trade analytics and things. This is obviously my history from 2018. I mean, this account was only really made back in the late 2024 in December. So yeah, you can see all your stats here. It is pretty comprehensive: profit and loss ratio, win rate, return on rate, total return on each asset, average loss, average win, those types of things. So that's great. You've got all the information you really need there. Now, this is the interface of the actual trading or the charts. So if we look at what you can actually trade, it's very comprehensive. You're not really very limited. The only thing that you are or you can't trade actually is crypto. So have a look here. You can see all the indices you have access to. There's no limitations there. Currencies, you've got your majors, minors, Australian, Scandinavian, exotic, and emerging. So again, you can trade basically anything you want. Now, again, crypto is limited to professional traders. For a professional account in IG, you need to be a professional, essentially. So you need to have about 500,000 in capital, and you also need to have some sort of regulation. There is also another option, but again, it's not something I would really be interested in. I assume, again, if you're watching this video, I assume that you're not in that category. No offense. Shares. So again, you've got all the stocks here you really want. So you can get all the countries: France, United Kingdom. There's even more down here, so I'm not going to read them all off. But yeah, you've got basically all of the stocks you would ever really want to trade. Obviously not necessarily penny stocks, but anyway. Commodities, you've got energies, precious metals, base metals, and you've got soft commodities. You can trade live cattle, soybeans, corn, cotton, oats, orange juice. Now, actually, just before I continue, this is very, very important as well. If you are wanting to go into spread betting, it doesn't work the same as CFD. You can't just put $50 in $100 and trade, because with CFDs, especially if you've got, 1 to 100, 1 to 500 leverage, you can essentially not really worry. You can place a couple of trades here, a couple of trades there, and let them run and whatever. Spread betting is very, very different. The minimum capital requirement really is much higher. I think the minimum deposit is still around £50 on IG, but you can't really do anything with £50. So when I first came to spread betting, I think I deposited about £500. That was my minimum, just to, get a feel for it, see what it's all about, learn the interface and all that type of thing. And I could place, I think it was 2 positions on Eurodollar at the minimum size that IG allows. And then, my margin was used up. That was it. It was all, I couldn't do anything else. I had to close the positions until I could place another trade or deposit more. So the capital load is more intensive. You will have to really have, I would say around £5,000 to £10,000 minimum. And that would just allow you a little bit more diversity in the markets. You can place a few more trades and you don't have to worry too much about your margin being used up and not being able to place any more trades. And when I say margin used up, I'm not saying margin called. I'm just saying your limit has been used, so you can't place more trades until you've either made the profit or closed the trades. Now, bonds and rates, you can trade those if you want to. It's not something I touch. ETFs, again, you've got basically everything here that you could want. The list just goes on and on and on and on. So I'm definitely not going to sit here all day and read all these off. But yeah, in what I'm trying to say is in IG spread betting, you have access to basically everything that you would need apart from crypto. Now, again, I don't really know anyone that would trade crypto on a spread betting account. You'd be better using a crypto exchange specifically for that. But Spread betting, in my opinion, is the next level of CFD, especially in the UK. Now, again, if it is your only income or your main income, then probably stay away unless you're happy to pay the taxes, that's fine. But for the way I'm currently set up, obviously I have Elite Traders, I have another business and I trade. So it's not classed as my main income or my only income. So it's not really an issue. So I'm completely fine. So again, you would have to really look into your personal life, write down a pros and cons list for yourself, your finances, your taxes and all that type of thing, and then make the decision. So that's about it. I've covered everything there really is to talk about spread betting. So guys, if you are wanting to get into trading or you're not, you want signals, education, you want to learn more about the way a retail trader can approach in a professional way, click the link in the description. We've currently got 80% off of our Elite Traders, which is signals, education, networking, community. I've also got 100% free Telegram as well. Top link in the description. Guys, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you watching. I hope this has been useful to someone. Guys, I'll see you later. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it.